As you track the fate of the teams that go deep into the late rounds on Sunday, certain moments rise that not only end up defining a player and a team's story, they can alter the very trajectory of the sport itself. This is the story of paintball's defining moments, of those who struggled and persevered through the battles at the top of the NXL Pro Division. Entering into the 2022 NXL season, there was a familiar theme. San Diego Dynasty, after 20 years of precedent-setting greatness, again sat at the very top of the game. They've been undefeated for 2 events, winning 14 matches in a row, and also playing with the confidence of taking the past 2 World Cups. And they just pulled off one of the biggest player pickups in the offseason, adding multiple-time MVP Archie Montemayor.
Yeah, I think this offseason was really good for San Diego Dynasty. You know, we got to keep the whole team together. We had a great year last year. Things are really starting to click with the team, the chemistry, and the confidence. Confidence is huge. So when you can keep really the core of the team, and more than that, we kept everybody, and we're able to add Archie Montemayor, which is one of the best players ever to play the game, and a new young kid in Damien. We're in a really good spot. We're in a good spot to have a lot of versatility. We got a lot of guys that are really intelligent, play everywhere, and the team's hungry. You bring in some youth. They're hungry to get one of their first wins. And yeah, I'm excited for this first event. It's been a crazy offseason. A lot of movement, a lot of other, stuff going on, new teams coming into the league. So there's a lot of hungry people, a lot of hungry teams, a lot of teams and players with chips on their shoulders. And yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good year.
But a new potential monster had entered the arena. The Latin Saints, new on the scene, were throwing money at every all-star in the league in their attempt to build another powerhouse super team. Of the 2 current resident super teams, Houston Heat's championship roster remained intact, while a few of Impact's core attackers had taken the bait and left perceived greener pastures, forcing Edmonton to rebuild. 16 other pro teams, including proven winners like Tampa Bay Damage, San Antonio X Factor, and Los Angeles Infamous, were lined up to try to make a run at Dynasty's title. The stage was set for the most difficult year in pro paintball history, as the best teams in the world quested for their own defining moments.
Games, man. We've already gotten an overtime game today. People are attacking. It's the beginning of the season. People are prepared, ready, and everybody seems to be off to a good start. So 2022 season is officially underway.
No, we cannot throw our bodies away. We have to be together.
Yeah. Get the spots.
Work with the guy next to you. Get the talk going. If they have 3 and we have 5, there is no reason to go anywhere.
No.
We control the airwaves and we
rock.
make them fucking blow the horn.
Clean it up, boys. Clean it up. Let's go.
Come on, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team! Have fun, guys. Let's go. This is fun. Let's have time! Let's go!
After a chaotic but productive offseason, the Saints were able to convince a sizable chunk of Impact's team to jump ship. 4 players were willing to take a big risk for a big reward with a new team and a new owner. 2 players from the Ironman also answered the call, Corey Hall and Silos Cortez. Their roster had seeds of excellence so deep, but the question would be, could they contend immediately, or would it take more time?
I was the last guy. I was the final piece in the puzzle, because I always made fun of them. I was like, yeah, you guys can go over there and collect your money, but you guys will never win. You have no leader, you have no organization. Like, who is gonna run that? I was like, Mouse, you're gonna do it? Absolutely not. Kyle's not gonna do it. There was no one on the team that could really bring everyone together from front to back. They were missing that piece. I was like throwing out ridiculous numbers. I was like, they would have to offer me something like absolutely stupid for me to even consider leaving. Some of my best friends, so I was always having conversations with them every day about it. Then they kind of gave up, and then I guess they went to dinner with Diego. Diego came into town, and he was like, yeah, tell him and I'll give him whatever he wants. And at that point I was like, yeah, whatever, like I just blew it off. And then the next day they called me and they're like, no, it's serious, just talk to him. I know you don't want to leave Impact, but just talk to him and see what he has to say. So I humored them and had the conversation with Diego first. And I was like, you're gonna have to give me 120 grand for me to even consider coming over. And he was like, okay, done. I wanted to do just some more research about it, figure out where he came from, because I had no idea who he was at all. So that was kind of a big risk, and it was a little bit of a scare factor as well in terms of like, okay, well, who is this guy? Where is he from? Why does nobody know him?
One of you, man. I trust in you. Let's go. I trust every one of you. You can do it. Let's do this, man. Let's do fucking this. We can do it.
Yep, let's go, boys.
1, 2, 3, team. 1, 2, 3, team. Let's go.
First team, we got Latin Saints. We're gonna see what they can do. I mean, they spent a lot of money to get a good budget. I mean, they got a good team going, so we'll see what they can do. It's gonna be a lot for them to come out and play their first match, so we'll see what we can do, see if we can hang with them.
The Saints had issues taking down Energy Elite in their first match. After putting up a 3-point lead early, they then let it slip away. They held on to solidify the 1-point win in the closing seconds. However, their next match against San Diego Dynasty would be the biggest test for this new all-star squad.
Tighten up the game plan. Everyone played pretty good. Let's scout Dynasty. Let's get ready for Dynasty. And good job, guys.
So obviously we're a new team, so we have to go through those steps to build. We just have to work through the notions and progress through as the points go on. For the most part, we're all here to work and we're all here to win, so that's our goal.
We have, some of the best players in the world helping us and walking us through everything. So it's a real big privilege, and I know everybody would be happy just to be part of this team. And I know it's good for paintball, it's good for Latin paintball, because we're passing this on to the rest of the teams. So I think it's good for just paintball in general, and I'm really happy.
That's a big game. You circle it. You know that is going to be a match. Okay, so Latin Saints, what are they about? We're going to see it. Right here, we get to see it in the prelims. We get to experience it. We don't have to wait until Sunday to experience it. We're going to see it here.
The Saints had a rocky first day, barely beating Energy Elite and then losing to Dynasty by 5.
Right now, let's go, boys.
The Latin Saints would fight back to tie, but it ended up being all Dynasty on the scoreboard as the minutes ticked down. The final score sat 7-2. They would need to play much better to accomplish their goal.
Yesterday, after the big loss we have versus Dynasty, we have a big meeting, a 2-hour plus meeting. We see videos too, seeing our mistakes. And now our first match is versus X Factor, a top team. And well, I think that we study the place okay, and I think we're going to do okay. And then the next match is versus Revo. And actually we need to win both of our matches because the bracket is too close. So let's hope we can do this and we're going to win, you will see.
Hey, there we go. Got another win today. Got one more to go. Hopefully that locked us into Sunday, but I know the most important thing is winning. Colt, good job, buddy. Good game. Renee, good seeing you.
During the second day of the prelims, the Latin Saints went undefeated, beating San Antonio X Factor by 3, and then securing a close come-from-behind victory against a tough Baltimore Revo squad.
Towards the end, everybody started watching the match, and then when we needed help, no one was there to help. We got to be there for each other, together, remember?
Go, let's do it, man. Hey, keep having fun, too.
Yeah. 2 on 3.
1, 2, 3, team!
A whole season lay ahead, but at the start of the Sunshine State Major, it was undeniable that Dynasty was the top team to beat. Their original core of Ryan Greenspan, Yosh Rao, and Alex Frazier, all now nearly 40 years old, were still raising the bar of what's possible after 2 decades of precedent-setting greatness by surrounding themselves with a lethal mix of players with eclectic personalities and special talents. Dalton Vanderbilt and Marcelo Margot had proven themselves, even before their current tenure with this squad, as generational talents. And they've become key weapons for Dynasty on this run. And as long as they stayed healthy, they would start the lion's share of the points.
You know, picking up Archie was huge for us coming into 22. He's always been a weapon. The question that was on the table was, how was he going to be mentally coming onto the team? And he came just like he had never not played with us. He was there in the practice saying, okay guys, this is what we need to do. You know, he was very at home. And you know, that kind of goes back to the time in Europe that we got to play with him. So a lot of us had experienced Archie already. Archie brought a lot of experience from other teams, but specifically, he brought his game style, which was huge. You know, Archie can play any spot, but he plays it differently and with a great, fantastic mind, which is, you know, that's the beauty of Archie.
You know, me coming here, it was really just doing a service to myself, and in the sense that not only me, but I genuinely believe you need to be inspired, you know, at all costs. And for me, coming to this team, what was that for me? And it gave me a lot to prove and a lot to kind of shake even. And yeah, that's kind of how I've been kind of doing my thing this year. It's a unique opportunity to be me on this team, you know, and it's easy to say like, you know, well, because to me, I look at it like I try to play the devil's advocate with myself, you know, oh yeah, I'm going to the team that's winning. Well, that actually puts a lot of pressure on myself now, because if they don't win, well, what did they change, right? It's me. So it puts the bullseye right in front of me, you know. But I took that and I understood that knowing it.
When Dalton was healthy, very few players could ever match his level of production, but he had been dealing with some injuries. Marcelo Margot, fresh off a World Cup MVP, was the on-field glue in close games and low-body situations, and his versatility in every role had earned him many accolades.
That's what it's going to take, man. Everybody out here is a good player.
The Dynasty was missing one of their core attackers, Blake Garber. Coming off a co-MVP performance at World Cup, he had a most unlucky run-in with an axe in the offseason and almost lost a thumb in the process. He'd be sidelined for the next few months.
Last year was huge. We come into the next year, we pick up Archie Montemayor. Unfortunately, you know, in that transition, we pick up Archie, we have a practice, and I feel fantastic at that first practice. I go home, and the Wednesday after I go home, I get my thumb chopped off. You know, and that's just living life, you know, and I just, of course there was dark moments and all that. I just took it for lessons being learned, and that's get your fingers out of there. But
Dynasty's first 2 games ended the way the past 14 had, with victories over hungry opponents. They had their hands full in the first game as it went to overtime against a scrappy Baltimore Rebel, who had lost a big chunk of their starting line the past 2 seasons but still found a way to threaten the top teams. On the second day of the prelims, Dynasty again dealt with an improved young squad in Energy Elite, as Dalton Vanderbilt had to win a one-on-one in the first point to take the early lead. Energy came back. They couldn't break into Dynasty's line, and the final score was 4-3 Dynasty. They had an easier time against X Factor, with a 4-point win against Montemayor's old squad. Dynasty went undefeated in the prelims.
To be completely honest, after the Saints game, it was a big relief for the team because it was proof that we have everything it takes to beat the quote-unquote super team that was built. We knew that we had the championship poise. We just won World Cup. We had the team, we had the experience, we had everything, and then we added Archie, as I alluded to earlier. So it was more of, after that match, it was like, yeah, this is what it this is what it's gonna look like, you know.
One of the NXL Sunshine State Open. We got fresh new dye masks here. Can't wait to rock them. We're playing Sacramento DMG. I'll be up in about 2 games, and then we got Tampa Bay Damage after that.
Entering into their 3rd year in the Pro Division, it was unclear how good Columbus Level could be, but they had shown vast improvement quickly, going from the bottom tier of teams in 2020 to a 6th place finish, where they beat Impact, Damage, and Revo all in a row at Chicago in 2021. Led by owner Dave Pando and coach Robbie Goldsmith, their roster was filled with up-and-coming, homegrown Midwest talent and no hired guns.
We are not guns for hire. We are not a big budget team. We are locally grown. We're organic. We are non-GMO. We are just a bunch of homegrown best friends.
Level's line had been coalescing into a refined form, with a core arising to meet the competitive moment in the NXL.
Going into Sunshine, we were confident, but also we still were playing like we were underdogs, which we love. We love being the underdogs. We love playing with the chip on our shoulder. We love when teams underestimate us. And I think it's just the nature of when you're a new team, you're always underestimated. You know, you're always seen as a lesser team when you're playing some of the big dogs. Luckily, in the previous season, we had had a little bit of success against some of the big dogs. And so we were always confident, but I still felt like going in, people weren't perceiving us as a legit team yet. And we were excited to try again and see if we could do it, if we could prove to the world that we were a legit paintball team. And luckily we did.
Their two main weapons were Danny Schonauer as the starter on the Snake side and Sam Silberg on the D side. But their ability to hang with top teams often came down to how they were able to thrive in the chaos that comes at the close of points, with their second attackers Corwin Weber, Matt Askren, and Josh Lemon. With depth and options off the bench as well, Columbus Level was looking like a team that could be a contender soon.
Our first game was against DMG, and it was a pretty back and forth match, and we ended up coming out on top on that one. And between the games, Robbie actually gave us a little talk about our match is going to be grinders. You know, we're not going to blow anyone out. We're going to have to fight tit for tat and for every foot that we take on the field.
Way to double Lucy, man. You got the first one, I got the second one.
Hey, Matt, you fucking win that game right there. Fuck yeah, dude.
So starting back to Sunshine State, one of the things with our team is we seem to come out a little slower in our first matches of games. So we played level. They already had a match under their belt, and they had a good game earlier in the day. So we come out a little slow, you know what I mean? Maybe not warmed up enough.
When we go to play Damage, the way I look at that game is that if somebody comes off a zone, you expect somebody else is going to pick it up. So it's a hard situation because you don't know, do I really have this move or are they just baiting me? Because the discipline that those guys have is just top notch.
So we gave them a lot of practice time. Like we were their sparring partner for 5 events. So we had an understanding of who they were. We knew their roster well. And at that time, we definitely went out and thought we were going to sun them. We thought they were the little brother. And little brother stood up and punched us in the mouth.
You know, they were never easy on us, ever. And sometimes we'd go to these practices and maybe win a point or two an entire weekend. But the best part is when we play them in matches and we come out on top, because it's like, you know, it's when little brother finally got his dunk on big bro in the basketball hoop in the backyard kind of situation.
Pando's even said it. He'll even give recognition that if Damage didn't give them what we gave them, they wouldn't be who they are. Obviously, they're working their asses off and they're doing everything they need to do to be where they're at, but we gave them the opportunity to play the higher echelon teams and not have to play divisional teams, right? Now people go to them.
So back and forth, it was so chippy, and we were talking a lot of trash that you probably can't hear too much on the webcast. They torched Danny one point in the Snake, and he must have gotten shot 50 times in the head. He comes off the field covered in pain, his yellow coming out of his teeth, and he's just laughing the whole time, and we go back out and do it again.
After the loss to Level, Damage would go on to take their anger out on the rest of the bracket, thrashing the Ironman, DMG, and Infamous. Every single win by the Mercy Rule with a combined score of 21-3. But in order for Damage to stay hot and go deep at this event, and win their first big tournament since 2013, they would have to get by the reigning champs in the quarterfinals.
But we learned a lot from it. That's the one thing I will say is we learned a lot from our losses. And you know, going through the next couple matches, we were able to kind of beat teams down based on what we have done from before. You know, and it was a good lesson to learn because we came out after that and smashed out all 3 teams. So we needed that kick in the balls to realize that
we got to be better.
Wake the fuck up! Wake up! Let's fucking go, man! Wake the fuck up! At the fucking ghetto! I was still waiting on the second one. No, you didn't. He just said kill the fucking 500 on grass. He run down fucking 500. Okay, another ghetto came out to 500. Wake the fuck up, man! You're close that fucking way. Hey, stay together, boys. Stay together.
No one had played more paintball or trained harder for the first event than San Diego Aftermath. And it showed in their first 3 games of the prelims, where they took a couple wins in close one-point fights against Seattle Thunder and New York Extreme, and then destroyed the ML Kings in Game 3.
Might be a penalty on the ML Kings, and we are going to see a tie game.
Owner Mike Kimmin had retooled his roster after taking back the reins of control, although the team now had some heavy hitters on the squad, like Frank Antetomaso and Thomas Kim, brought in to help them have more firepower against the top teams. They ran into a wall against Houston Heat, as they were completely shut down and shut out 0-6. Even at 3-1, they were forced into the wildcard round, where Aftermath rematched the ML Kings, and this fight would be a much closer game.
This year is the same team from last year. We got the same momentum. It definitely is working. First tournament, we're making Sunday, and we're here to stay. We're gonna progress.
After making Sunday twice in a row, the ML Kings have been acquiring a reputation as the fastest team in the league who thrived when pushing a high pace and forcing opponents to play their aggressive style.
Punch him in the fucking face, let's go!
And the Kings came out as advertised through the first 3 points of the wildcard match against Aftermath, with Connor Kelly and Kyle Berry stepping up and taking the big early lead.
They have to run, we don't have to do shit. Let's fucking go.
But Aftermath remained undaunted. They fought back to tie the game up 4-4 with just 39 seconds left.
There might be a penalty on the ML Kings, and we are going to see a tie game. No, Hallberg stayed alive in that too.
They don't get a penalty here.
Oh, look at this.
Hallberg. Hallberg's at the flag. Oh, the referee puts his hand back in his pocket.
And then Barrett comes through. They have 14 seconds to work with. I think Aftermath might be able to steal this win. As Mason's going to hit the afterburners.
San Diego Aftermath advanced to rematch Heat, but this game would be a completely different story than the 0-6 shutout beating that they took yesterday.
It was us! Eat that! That's our fucking fault!
And we ended up matching up against them in the first round of the quarterfinals, and it's hard to beat the same team twice in an event, and we played them and they just kind of figured out a little bit of our game plan and played it a little bit different. We just didn't adapt right away, and we ended up going down a couple of points. I think it was 5-0 with 8.5 minutes left.
Same 5 right here.
Tough game with Heat. We came out, jumped up 5-0. They fought their way right back into it. It was an even game back and forth. Came down to the end, and we won with a couple seconds left. DK's tired. We all know, buddy. Focus.
20 seconds to control. 20 seconds attack. Hey, they're gonna run.
They taught us in the prelims. They beat our ass 6-0. So we had a lot to adjust and work on, and we did that, and here we are. What's different about being in Sunday now is you got to play tighter paintball. You can't throw points away. Every opponent has fought just as hard as we fought to get to this moment. So, you got to dig deep, and you just can't make mistakes. Whoever makes the most mistakes is probably going to lose, So that's the difference, we got new guys on the team, just trying to get that cohesion and that gel.
All you got to do is look back. I got it. All me.
This year's Aftermath team on paper is definitely better than last year's team for what it's worth. But you still have the gel factor. The best guys don't always make the best teams. So getting everybody to click together and support each other and simple things like that is kind of what we're trying to do right now, and that's the challenge ahead of us.
You have to listen, man. Josh is staying your way. I don't care, man. I'm the only one listening. No, you're fucking not.
Point approved.
Fuck, man. I was you shot Fed off. I shoot him. Fucking dumbass fucking Ryan popped the top of the snake. I shot him and run the last. See when I was on the field before staring at him.
Way to be coach.
Playing for a tough coach, like Mike Hinman, in a league with zero room for errors, exerts a toll, but it can build excellence. Aftermath had fought through turbulence against a tough opponent, and there was more to come. They advanced out of the quarterfinals to face Dynasty in the semis.
Shoot our way.
Well, Dynasty, we come out, we play them the first match on Sunday, and you know, they've been hot for the last year, heavy. They've got everything they need, and then they go and add Archie, which I think is not talked about enough because he's one of the best player in the damn league. And he's a closer, man. You know, he plays every single spot. He could play the front, he could play the back. And I think he just kind of wheeled and dealed, and he beat us in some gunfights and kind of won him that match. But Dynasty is that type of team that, you know, they were able to plug a top-level person into a spot that they needed, and now they're just kind of running with it. So it's crazy to see, even after this much time, that they still have it, man.
Fucking let him be a wasted gun over there and come down this way.
He's gonna get to this 3-pack here, doesn't even shoot. Wow, what an amazing heads-up play from Chad Bouger.
We're gonna push the rear side. Keith's gonna push the big side. Look for the Dallas and Godzilla moves. Okay?
Dynasty took the early lead and Damage tied it up. Both teams were dealing with losing bodies early, as we were deep into the tournament and everyone had dialed in their shots.
Obviously points we would love to have back. Ryan played out of his fucking mind. Marcelo, his shot was ridiculous. Skinny had a great plan to shut down Keith to the point where we couldn't send him anywhere. He was literally dying going anywhere.
Dynasty went up 2 with 5 minutes and 28 seconds left, and Damage would keep pulling within 1, but Dynasty maintained control of the important moments.
You know, got to a point in the Damage game where we knew they had to come, so it became very easy to shoot bodies on the break, have a body advantage, not lose gunfights, make sure you win the point, make sure you win the game.
We were able to punch back. You know, we started flying down the Dorito side on them, got a couple points back on them. You know, we made it a game, but at the end of the day, you know, it's a game of small percents when you get to Sunday. And all it takes is 1 or 2 things, coin flips to go our way, and we win that. So we knew we were close, but we knew we weren't good enough, you know? We had to be better.
This is exactly what Damage needed with just 1 minute and 16 seconds left. They still have a chance. Got to close quick though, and cannot let Archie get into the snake. Oh, and Archie's gonna get blasted by Keith. And they actually trade out with Keith. And so, yeah, we're gonna have a game still here.
You wanna talk about Damage. Damage is one of the best teams in the league. And if you think about it, World Cup 2021, they met us first round Sunday. We beat them. We move on to win the tournament. If they don't play us, they're probably in the finals. That team is that good. They're probably in the finals, and we see them in the finals. And at any moment, they could beat us. Like, you know, it's the way Damage is.
They held off Damage's final full field attack with just 43 seconds left, and took a close 1-point victory to keep the team's win streak going, and move into the semifinals to play another team from Southern California, San Diego Aftermath.
Yeah, so there we go. San Diego Dynasty gonna be punching their ticket on into the semifinals, getting closer to another finals appearance. That would be 3 in a row.
We're, you know, watching these first couple games, trying to stay warm. You know, we did a lot of scouting last night, watched all of the Russians games, so we know exactly what they're gonna do. We know exactly what we're gonna do.
Hey, Thomas Holding!
They're fucking motivated, you know. We had 1 Sunday appearance last year, and you know, now we know what to expect. It's not new to us now, so we're ready to go.
Our team is a momentum team. If we start off well, it snowballs. If we start off bad, it snowballs. So, you know, with each match that we win, we get better, we get more confident, we have less doubt, and we just keep playing better and better and better.
I feel good. We're excited. They're running 5 guys, we got 10, so we got a bigger pit crew, better pit crew. We love it. We got this one. Yeah, I think we're gonna probably try to play a few more than normal, just because we do have a bigger squad playing Truex ball. We know we have the advantage there, so.
That Russian match on Sunday was a test. It was a test for us to see, had we really made it as an elite team, or were those prelims in the past just a fluke? Had we actually become a team that can contend, or were we just, some dudes that had really good batch of paint and some good lanes off the break? We really wanted to win that match, and for us, I will always remember when we found out that we drew the Russians, how the stars had just aligned. Of course this was going to be our test, to have to beat the Russians. Of course that's who we were going to have to get through to make it to the next step, which in our careers at that point was to win a match on Sunday. And we'd been to Sunday, we hadn't won, and now here we were staring at the Goliaths of the Russian Legion to get there.
Legion on the right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, don't know if they knew.
Goes Askren. Just like I said, Askren's going to come through. He's going to take out Kirill's perfect move here from Matt Askren.
Matt had seen that gap, but he does get a kill on Sergey before he gets caught. Oh, and it looks like he's going to draw a penalty.
Here comes Weber, going to stitch up Brittany, and then Brittany's going to catch a bunch extra. Kind of looks back like, really? Oh, and then Weber gets shot from his own guy.
There's an amazing point in that match where it's a 2-on-2, Sam Silberg, the fucking stud. He's on the D side, but Kirill's in the center, and the other Russian player is on the Dorito side as well. Sam picks that up. Instead of going down and trading with the Dorito guy, he goes inside, bunkers out Kirill in the center, and then the Dorito guy just took off, trying to find Sam. Sam recognized it, dunked on him, hung the buzzer with the player still alive for the Russians to get us a point. That point was sick. That was a huge momentum booster for us, and that just proves that Sam is so clutch sometimes, so clutch. And against the Russians, to be able to pull off a move like that was so motivational for our team. A big part of the win, I think, was Sammy's big move on the running up the middle and dunking on him.
Hey, Joe!
We win 3 in a row, and at this point we're like, holy shit. Not only can we win, we are winning, and we're winning against the Russian fucking Legion.
They're the first attacker.
Yeah, Sergey was the one that made there, but I think the damage has been done already, and yeah, here comes the double dose.
Oh!
So Kirill caught those extra bonus balls, and that's Kirill giving it back to him.
Kirill, angry Kirill. That's angry Kirill.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-4, 2 minutes left. It's obviously a big moment in the game, and Danny gets in the snake. He's super clutch, shoots a couple guys. We win the point, and that was the last point scored in the match, right? But that's not a surprise. That's what Danny fucking does. He's a dog.
Over there in the V, and then that is going to do it here. Legion needs to concede this point.
Surprised they're not.
Right?
It's a little late there.
Let's go. We got one more. Timeout, boys. No timeouts. Let's finish this shit right now.
Look inside. Guys, listen. This is why we're here. We're up 1 point against the Russian fucking Legion on Sunday. Dig in right here. Leave it all on the field. Right motherfucking now level. Let's go.
Legion's going to need to do something miraculous out here. 3-on-5.
Sergey doing what he can through the middle.
Here comes Levelova, going to move up, but Askren gets shot out. Now just 4 bodies left alive. As Smotrov gets shot, tries to somersault back.
And that's it.
And that is going to do it. Columbus Level knocking out the legends of Legion to move on into the semifinal.
Unreal, Matty.
Are you kidding me?
This was our biggest tournament we've ever had, and it was kind of proving to ourselves that we are capable of doing this. We are a team that deserves and belongs to be here. So everything after this was just going to be icing on the cake. No pressure.
Captain.
There we fucking go. Fuck yeah, dude.
But it wasn't just for us. It wasn't. It was one of the best days of my paintball life as the owner. The players, I know it was a big milestone to check off on their paintball careers, but we also felt like we were winning for our entire network of paintball players back home. For all the players in Ohio, for Pennsylvania. I mean, most of us aren't from Columbus. It's a lot of Cleveland and Cincinnati, Toledo, Akron. I mean, we represent a big network of paintball players, and we were so proud to be able to deliver that win home for everybody. It means a lot. It means a lot not just to us, but it means a lot to the field, to the rec players, to the beginners. I mean, that win, I feel like, was more than just a win. It was more of a crown jewel achievement of our team and our careers.
We are 1 month away from playing our first pro finals ever. All right, this is an opportunity we're gonna fucking have, and let's fucking make the most of it. Way to go, way to fucking go. So proud of you guys. Give me a fuck Danny on 3. 1, 2, 3, fuck Danny!
I'm so proud you remembered that. Love you, Danny.
The Saints had fixed their problems and they were looking strong Sunday morning. They ran up a huge lead against Infamous in the wildcard match 5-0 and took a solid win 7-3. Infamous had made too many early mistakes, and the Saints made them pay.
We went up big on them. I think it was 4 or 5-0, and then they scored 2 quick points. And then they just started bonus balling us and walking us off the field while they were losing 2 minutes left. We didn't want to start that game, but if they want to play that game, I'm all for it.
The show of emotion in a game that wasn't even close proved J-Rab's motivation and desire for greatness still lived inside him. He and his team were now mentally sharpened for the grudge match coming next against Impact. It would be the closest game they played on Sunday.
Every step that we took instilled more confidence in the guys, instilled more confidence in myself, and then I think that confidence was just kind of protruding out of everybody on and off the field, and everybody just felt that. You could feel it rising up, like in our meetings, in our huddles. Whenever we talked anything paintball, you could just kind of feel that rise to the occasion and that level of confidence, that elevation that we had.
The quarterfinals game did not start out well for the Saints. Even though they were shooting a body early every point, they had survivability and penalty problems. They were down 3-1, and then they went on to score 3 unanswered points to take a 1-point lead. Impact would come back to tie the game up twice, and the moves and the gunfights went blow for blow. It was 5-5 with just 41 seconds left in regulation. Alex Rodriguez ran through the center looking for kills. Impact drew a penalty, which destroyed their chances. Alex Goldman used his speed to get to the buzzer with just 3 seconds to spare. The starting line for the Saints was on a hot streak. They were still building momentum as they went into the semifinals to play Columbus level.
We're right there.
One game at a time.
Together. We are right fucking there. It's almost there, boys. Let's reach out and fucking grab it.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I feel good. I want this! Latin! Latin! Keep that fucking energy, boys. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team! Let's stay together.
I played with Impact for 6 years, man. Nothing but respect for that organization. Bart, Dave, all the players from top to bottom. We knew this one was going to be a grinder. That was probably the best shooting team off the break that we've faced, and we overcame adversity, man. I mean, they really took it to us in the beginning of the match, and I think Sunday is just a mental game, and we just kept our heads in it, stayed positive in the pits, and just worked through the struggles. Kept fighting, stayed in the fight the whole match, and little by little just started climbing to the top and went up a point on them at the end, and it was too tough for them to try to fight back, and we took that one.
Going into the tournament, I had no confidence that we would ever make Sunday, ever. Even when, that first day where we lost a match and we were barely grinding points down to just stay alive, it was it was really tough. It's a lot to ask for any player to play every single point. And then come Sunday, how many matches and how many points, you have to play, you have to grind, you're beating yourself up all weekend. So to be able to only rely on 5 dudes was not enough. And I did not have that confidence going into the tournament that we would make Sunday, let alone make the finals in our debut event.
So yeah, we're going to play the Saints. I was looking forward to this game because we had to practice them earlier in the week at Tiki's in Florida, and we got into some pretty big disputes on the field where there's some overshooting going on, some arguing, all the normal stuff at practice. But I think that score had not been fully settled.
For both the Saints and Level, this would be their first ever semifinal appearance. But would it be the all-star veterans or the hungry Midwesterners who proved that they were ready for this big moment at the first event of the season?
So we knew going into the Saints match, this was the furthest we'd ever made it, and we all believed that we could win this event. I mean, we had beaten the Russians, who have won events. We'd beaten Damage, who's won events, Infamous, who's won events. There's no reason for us to doubt ourselves. We went into this match fully believing we are capable of winning it.
Penalty. That's going to do it here. Major penalty, worst case scenario. Point number 1, that's going to take Danny.
In the beginning of the game, it was looking dire for Level. But after going down 0-3, a few big moments at different times from Chase Cranmer, Josh Lemon, and Corwin Weber kept Level close and then pushed them forward to tie the game.
Our roster is very dynamic and complete. And who starts the match and who actually impacts the match are sometimes much different. Chase and Justin in particular do an incredible job of coming in, having big points, big moments that not only create big opportunities, but usually either change or continue the momentum we have. And some of those guys coming off the bench just had a huge impact at this event in particular.
It was 4-4 with just 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go.
Danny Diggs runs a little bit high, but makes mistake 1.
Oh, they finally shoot him out. Body come out. Yeah, they shoot mouse.
4-on-4, 3-on-4 advantage for Saints. 3-on-3, man.
Right there, snake insert. He's gonna try and get the snake really quick.
Weber coming up there. He's gonna get 1. Oh, major penalty assessed.
Against Level, unfortunately.
Get him, boys.
The Latin Saints took another close victory, and they headed to the finals. Level would pack their bags and wait for another chance at the next event in Texas.
If you can get 3rd place, obviously winning is the next step, but it's not that far away, and it's going to happen.
Believe in each other, man. If you didn't believe in it before, believe
now.
Hey, we got one more. We have one fucking more.
Hey, I don't know about y'all, but I still feel good.
Saints! Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team! Let's go!
That team is, every time you play them, it's like they're gonna give you their absolute best, and they play a style that is hard to beat. Can't make mistakes on Aftermath. They lure you into getting bored with what you're doing, your job, and they lure you into making a mistake of your own. They did a fantastic job of it.
Aftermath used the momentum from the big win against Heat as fuel in the beginning of their match versus Dynasty in the semifinals. Joe Barrett got crafty against Ryan Greenspan in the first point, as Aftermath was playing more aggressive and shooting key bodies early.
And it looks like they're even trying to take some ground here Snakeside with Montemayor, as he might have got clipped, and he does. So it's good zone control off the break for Aftermath. Oh, he throws the pod. Oh, and it worked. It worked. He threw the pod at the brick, and he suckered him into the trap. And Greenspan knew it. The old dog got suckered into an old trick.
The toughest match we had all of Sunday. Literally, everybody on our team said that was the finals match.
Greenspan closing the gap, trying to get some revenge here on Barrett.
It's like, try to throw your quad now, bro. Greenspan a little bit nervous to go up the middle now he knows Barrett's up there and Barrett's not messing around. Barrett goes up, shoots Ryan Greenspan out.
Barrett going to work.
Barrett going to work, gets another kill. Archie goes to cancel.
Aftermath had us on the ropes. We were down that whole match. We were down 2-0, and then we scored a point. Then we lost a point. We're down 3-1. And it's like, okay, a lot of time's ticking off.
Dynasty as they're trying to, that's a constant.
They fought back to tie with 2:45 left. And then Archie Montemayor and Ryan Greenspan stepped up to put what would be the winning point on the board.
Kill one, they can probably close this point out. If not, it's going to go overtime.
Well, and you know, Archie has a ball right now, for sure.
Now Dynasty also moving up on the D side, trying to close this one out and take a lead. Just 37 seconds left to go to see if Dynasty can steal this one. Oh, but Archie doesn't know that Mesa's still alive. Doesn't matter though, because Greenspan's still there, and Greenspan is going to be able to get this last kill potentially. Is there still another body over there? No, there's not, and San Diego Dynasty is going to steal the win here with just 10 seconds, 11 seconds.
Aftermath's run was done, and Dynasty advanced to the finals for the third consecutive event.
And it was so close. I mean, you look at that first event, we so easily could have lost it. We so easily could have not made it to the finals because of Aftermath.
Aftermath going for it here, only 6 seconds left. Look for red flags. See a red flag on Dynasty. It'll tie the game.
5 Aftermath players have been eliminated.
Not going to do it. Dynasty going to take the victory. Again, just relentless. Dynasty undefeated at this event. Coasted through the prelims 4-0. Matched up against Damage. Damage was playing tough, knocked them out. And then now here, Aftermath in the semifinals, and it was close. Another 1-point game. That is going to do it here as big congratulations to San Diego Dynasty, even without Blake Yarber. No hitches in their step whatsoever.
And congratulations to Aftermath, right?
Yeah, man. Hey, top 4.
Way to
it's
start
like
a
level,
season.
right? You know, making it all the way to top 4.
Way to start a season, guys. Congratulations.
Aftermath looking very strong. Definitely going to be a threat to win tournaments here, and they're just going to keep getting better.
At that point, we had so much confidence, we had so much fire, we had so much momentum. We all thought we were going to win, including myself. We all thought that we were going to win. Whenever you start making those runs, whether you're on the best team in the world in those moments or you're just on, you know, the team that we were on, when you go on a run like that, that momentum, that confidence that you are grinding into your brain, you have that belief that you can do anything, you can conquer anything. And I think that we all had that belief. We all believed going into that match against Dynasty that there was no doubt that we could win that match.
The way that J-Rab and Mouse specifically were playing on that Snake side was not to be taken lightly. Like when we saw them in the finals, like, okay, this is a completely different team than we played in the prelims. That's how we felt. It was not the same team. It was like in the prelims, it was this new team. They were trying stuff out. They were all together and they wanted to like experiment. Brandon Short was the coach. He's like, oh, we're gonna try this, try that, yada yada. Let's just get to Sunday. By the time we saw them Sunday in the finals, things had completely changed. That team was now tighter. They were more solidified. They were more defined in their roles. They were playing more team paintball. They were scary.
In the first point, both teams dropped a body early. Vasilos Cortez for the Saints and Archie Montemayor for Dynasty dying off the break. Dalton Vanderbilt was on the Saints side of the field in seconds, but was quickly shot, as was Alex Rodriguez from the center 50 brick. It was 3-on-2 Dynasty within the first 32 seconds. Dynasty cleaned up the last bodies, and they put the first point on the board. The second point, Dynasty shot Alex Goldman off the break. They lost Montemayor again. Rodriguez went untouched in the center 50 brick. Greenspan, feeling pressure from the D side, switched off the snake lane to get a look, which allowed Rabakov to fill the snake and charge forward to the 50-yard line, where he popped the top to get the inside kill on Greenspan. But Marcelo Margot made a clutch fill to get outside containment on the snake side. It was now 3-on-4 in favor of the Saints, with control of all the crucial forward positions. Dynasty shot Rodriguez out of the brick to even the count, but Cortez attacked, trading with both Arturo Andrade and Yosh Rao, leaving Margot in a tough 1-on-2. It was a situation that he excels at.
Oh, but look at this. On the jump shot, Marcelo Margot going to turn this into a 1-on-1.
Marcelo has a better spot. He'll probably go inside eventually. Oh, look at the move here by Marcelo. Doesn't even know he's there. Oh, and Marcelo gets the drop on him.
Just a beautiful job on Marcelo Margot. He's going to get some fives and some big back pats as he goes into the pits, playing the hero yet again.
D-Y-N-A-S-T!
No, we fucking done that. We know that. We know that.
Now down 2 with 8.5 minutes left, the Saints lost Cortez off the break, and Dynasty posted up on the lanes with the lead in the numbers, burning time off the clock.
Look at the calm composure from Dynasty across the board. They're just rolling guns.
They contained the Saints and attacked up the center, with Margot getting into the snake to match Goldman. Greenspan and Margot finished off the point to take a 3-point lead with less than 3.5 minutes to go.
I would definitely concede this point right now.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of weight on Mouse. But
look at Alex Goldman, side to side, all the way to the
but
side field.
Ryan picked him up.
As expected, down points and with little time left, the Saints pushed forward hyper-aggressive. They were able to put up a few points on the board. Dynasty was never in any real danger of giving up the lead. Final score, 5-2.
Let's go, Saints! It's not fucking over. Keep fighting. Come on!
I think it lit a fire in everybody's eyes and everybody's minds going forward in terms of we can do this. We can change the game and we can be the best team in the world.
I got you. They're coming.
They have no choice right now. They're going to run out wide, going heavy guns up, see if Archie can make it out clean, and he does. Alex Goldman and Archie get in each other's face right now, and they get separated. I like the spirit out of Archie.
I got you.
Yeah, this could get interesting. Yeah, this could get interesting because the Saints are going to take a loss here.
Oh, big move for Seals Cortez. Goes all the way into, last second gets shot.
They're unstoppable. They haven't lost a game in 2 events.
Playing pretty good paintball, man.
Congratulations, San Diego Dynasty. Urena's going to get some water dumped on him and a big hug from Dalton Vanderbilt, but
great job.
Unbelievable historic performance here yet again from San Diego Dynasty. 2 World Cups in a row, 3 events in a row. They are the team to beat right now, and it's not even close.
Archie had a huge event. He played the snake side completely different than everybody else. Never dove really once, in the whole event. But it was interesting being on the sideline watching my team play. Now I can see all these microscopic things, and it was good to just relay and feed that information to my guys. Just give them the positive notes and what they were missing.
Dynasty had done it yet again. 3 events and 21 games in a row. But had they reached the peak of their powers? Or was this still just the beginning of a historic run? Next up, Texas, where the fates could twist and change, with new stories and heroes emerging and thriving in their own potent, defining moments.
We're
depth. We got depth, and we're contenders, and so we're coming to bang as always. I mean, that's what the squad brings, right?
Thomas Terrell, love watching you play. Big fan of the squad, man. Travis Lemansky has just done such an amazing job with his brand and the team, building up a potential champion again. So we're gonna have to see here at the Lone Star Open if Infamous can finally pull off that long-awaited win. Thomas, best of luck there, baby. God bless.
Hey, five purple pods.
You know, going into Sunday 2-2. So that's not normally the way, you know, a winning team would come into Sunday, but you know, for us, with those 2 losses, those damn near 14 points in both of those matches, so you learn literally so much in those time periods. So coming into Sunday, we played Infamous again, but we had their concepts down and we were able to understand what they wanted to do.